Hello. Today we are responding to a local bitch boy called AtticusTheDeathMetaller who has hated me since 2015 because I recorded him saying this.
Levon, oh my god. Jesus Christ. Like, just the thought of him. Like, his fucking baby face makes me want to take a baseball bat with spikes and just hit him as hard as humanly possible. That's how I feel about this dude.
And my good pal Levon being put under scrutiny behind his back, I figured I'd let him know, just out of the sake of my own kindness and at the expense of the dork who threatened him. Then, in 2016, I get Atticus calling me a snake for doing that.
He promised to not, fuck with me. He promised not to do any shady shits, but when I had... where we were talking about another edge term named Levon. He was in the Skype call and how much I hated Levon. He basically recorded what I said, sent it to Levon. Levon had put it on his YouTube channel, and Emery basically sent it to me. I hate Lachlan because he is a liar. He is a deceiving asshole. He is nothing more than a snake. That is what he is. He is a slithery fucking snake.
And now in 2017 we have Atticus discussing a group of people he loves to hate.
Black Lives Matter. Oh boy! Black Lives Matter has struck again. And why do I say Black Lives Matter? Well, it's mainly just due to the fact that after the historical election of Donald J. literally Hitler Drumpf, that Black Lives Matter activists have been under the dark after the Not My President protest.
That's a nice study you got there, Atticus. Not my president protest. That was good, that was good.
And Black Lives Matter was left in the dust in later 2016. So, what does Black Lives Matter have to do to keep themselves relevant?
I don't know, maybe not stutter like you when they're trying to convey a point. I mean, you have editing software, so surely it wouldn't be that much of an effort to cut out the parts where you're stuttering all over the place. It's a bit hard to take you seriously when you're trying to act all smug but you don't even know how to form a coherent sentence.
Especially in the current year. Well, four supposed members of the Black Lives Matter movement decided to go out of their way into abducting a white person and beating the ever-loving shit out of him, as well as making it a Facebook Live video, and where they are beating the literal shit out of this person.
Let's just ignore the fact that Atticus just repeated himself by saying they were beating the shit out of this person 2 times in a fucking row. Wouldn't the key word there be supposed members of Black Lives Matter, meaning that they're not really affiliated with Black Lives Matter? If we actually do more research, we'll find out that they're actually not affiliated with Black Lives Matter. But research is hard, Atticus. Don't push your brain too hard.
What's really funny about this is that, this was taking place in Chicago, and no wonder it's taking place in Chicago because, ever since Black Lives Matter was doing their shit, crime fucking rose in Chicago.
Well, actually, Atticus, if you did your research, which, again, I'm not recommending because I don't want you to push your brain too hard and you might end up giving yourself an aneurysm, but it actually said that crimes rose through gangs, not Black Lives Matter. And if we want to get into the whole topic that black people commit more crimes, then we'll get into that later. Also, feel free to read the article in the description where they mention not once that Black Lives Matter was affiliated with any of the crimes rising. But I guess here in Atticus's world we can just make statistics up.
Why is that? Because the police, there is a culture within the law enforcement in American society that if a cop is resorted to shooting a black suspect, they are crucified by the fucking media.
Really now? Is that why the Black Lives Matter movement came around? Last time I checked, it's because people get away with murdering innocent black people. And for your information, cops don't get scrutinized enough for killing innocent black people. You know what you get for killing a black person when you're a cop? Paid leave. Free vacation. Darren Wilson, the scumbag who killed Michael Brown, admitted to using racial slurs. Tell people like Terrence Clutcher, Keith Lamont Scott, whose murderers were given paid leave as punishment for murdering human beings. SWAT team member Jonathan Alada murdered Charles Kinsley for no reason, as footage shows. The president of the Dade County Police Benevolent Association defended the act of murdering another human being as a mistake made by an officer. Charleena Lyles made a police report about attempted burglary, only to be shot by the officers who responded to a call. These officers being Jason Anderson and Stephen McNew, who murdered this pregnant woman, killing her along with her baby. Whether or not you're wearing a police uniform, if you're not doing the killing in self-defense, then it's murder. These cops are murderers and don't deserve paid leave. To act like this is the cops who are oppressed is being willfully ignorant. Cops are meant to be able to cope in stressful situations like the ones presented to them. They failed. Therefore, they should be scrutinized, and the way police treat black people should be scrutinized.
No wonder that crime rose in Chicago at a record alarming rate.
According to the Department of Justice, when you count the number of murders against the total population of their respective race, black people have a murder rate of 24.7 per 100,000 people. That's a rate higher than Mexico, Namibia, South Sudan, and Brazil.
Did you know that?
This is what people mean when they say black on black crime.
Now you know.
Ah yes, Naked Ape, the same man who tried to condescend to Sean on Twitter about data that proved that rich blacks commit more crimes than poor whites. Only to be knocked out of the ballpark by Sean when he manages to prove that his arguments had a lot of fucking holes in them. But yes, let's hear what Naked Ape, the man who failed to condescend to someone about data, has to say about black people committing more crimes. So let's go into that, Atticus. So the first thing worth pointing out is that they didn't actually document the amount of murders committed, but in fact the amount of homicides that were committed. And for those who don't know the legal definition of homicide, it's basically a vernacular which encompasses every act of murdering someone ever. So this could be actually going out and murdering someone unjustifiably, something like manslaughter, unintentional murder, or it could be self-defense. The word homicide manages to encompass pretty much anything. But let's focus on the fact that the FBI reports that are more up to date include quite a lot of crimes where the killer's race isn't even mentioned. The 38% of black criminals carrying out murders, the offender's race was unknown 29% of the cases. And again, while I'm not encouraging you to do research, Atticus, because I know it's, hard on your brain and all of that, I have left links in the description if you'd ever be so kind to read them. I know swallowing your pride is hard, but maybe just admit that you're fucking wrong and that you don't know anything about this subject. That'd be nice.
Totally a hate crime. This was racially and politically motivated. That they forced this motherfucker who supposedly voted for Trump to say, fuck white people, fuck Trump. And that is strike one and strike two, which was, political and racially motivated. And not to fucking mention that this guy that they were beating the shit out of was probably autistic or mentally ill. Yeah, way to go out there and making yourselves look good, Black Lives Matter activists.
What's interesting about the Black Lives Matter kidnapping is despite the fact there was no evidence to link Black Lives Matter with the kidnapping that took place, it was retards like you that like to push the narrative that it was Black Lives Matter's fault for it. Well done, Atticus. You spread misinformation.
Not to mention they fucking scalped this poor innocent guy and they forced him to drink toilet water.
Which reminded Atticus of the time when he as a poor victim was given a swirly.
And to go around and say, oh, Black Lives Matter has nothing to do with this.
Which they fucking didn't.
And I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off for me saying this, but Tomi Lahren was right on what she said on The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, that Black Lives Matter is the new KKK.
What, so they're the new KKK because a lone wolf terrorist in their group committed a crime? So you honestly feel that anyone who's affiliated with a group who may just so happen to commit a crime is therefore a part of it and therefore responsible for it? KKK in its core is there to be prejudiced against black people. Black Lives Matter at its core is there to get justice for people and police officers getting away with unjustifiably killing black people for no reason.
Think about this. The Ku Klux Klan was a major political movement back in the times. They were a major political movement in the United States back in those times. Now they're completely irrelevant, but the thing is, you're making the Ku Klux Klan more relevant when they're like few 100,000 strong and completely scattered across the United States. Also, Black Lives Matter has gained support from President Obama himself, along with other major leftist people.
Yeah, but Atticus, you also seem like the type of person who get mad that Abraham Lincoln met up with Frederick Douglass.
I'm not a big fan of Tommy Lahren. I prefer Lawrence Southern.
Of course.
I'm actually really glad that all 4 of these motherfuckers have been charged with a hate crime fucking finally.
As opposed to the white man who committed the exact same crime and was not charged with a hate crime. But let's just forget that, huh?
I don't really fucking hate black people at all. I of course want black people to be successful from this welfare shithole that they have been resorted to. I want to have successful black people like Adam Warren, Dave Chappelle, Howard Jones, Terrence Hobbs, Tosin Obasi, Samuel L. Jackson, John Witherspoon, Jamie Foxx, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, the same person who said that the best way to avoid racism is to not talk about racism, and to be colorblind, and to totally ignore power struggle.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
The rest of Atticus's video is just him pleading and moaning over and over again that he's not racist, he wants good things to happen to black people. Just to repeat himself one more time that he's not racist. You know, all that good stuff, so I'll just save it there. That was a pretty shit video by Atticus, where he managed to completely not do any research, not look up any statistics on the matter himself, and then make himself look like a complete and utter ass.